Accidentally went live 2 minutes early. Literally pressed the confirm and go live button and was like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Yay, gobstoppers. What's the crack, Emmanuel? Painting goo 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 goo. Why are you saying yay, gobstoppers? Are you licking a gobstopper right now, you big child? We used to call them jawbreakers. Gobstopper's hilarious. May as well call the thing a fucking gag. A ball gag. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Oh. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. Do 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 goo 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 goo. The ones with chewing at the center, yeah, the ones with chewing gum in the middle. Painting goo goo. Painting goo. Oh, fuck. Chewing gum. Not chewing gum. Chewing gum. Paint a sip, goo rant. Let this be painting goo chant. I was thinking like, welcome to Painting Goo, where we paint the goo. What can I paint for you? Like the whole like, welcome to Good Burger. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Alright, shut the fuck up, you goddamn petrified monkey. If any of you have any honor, you will place a tip in the monkey's bowl. Click one of the links in the description. Pay the monkey so it doesn't go hungry. Greetings. How are you? It's me again. Descending into proper painting goo posture with a nice smooth stool. No friction today. Oh, I don't know if it's going to become a routine, because these days my routines get fucked up by random shit all the time, but I like doing Qigong for like an hour before I stream for 2 hours, because my back and my shoulders actually feel, and my ass actually feel like there's blood running through them. Still yet to get the sensation back in my heels and my ankles, but I'll get there. Eventually. As Manuel would say. Manuel, I knew it. It's been a while since I watched Faulty Towers. I should probably watch it again. Remember Chocolate Rats? Yes, yes I do. Now that you mention it. I do remember them. Yeah. That was the thing. Chocolate Rats. Chocolate Frogs. The Chocolate Frogs are obviously, you know, cuter, less weird. A lot of kids eating chocolate rats. I wonder what rat tastes like. You know, remember Demolition Man? What kind of meat is this? El rata. This is a rat burger. See? It's not bad. Washing down rat burger with a beer. Yeah, oh, its own regenitor. How dare you? It's funny, I was thinking, like, I had that thought where it was like, I'm kind of being self-deprecating when I go, it's only me. And it's like, me? Like, like, I'm like, I'm not as important as my alter ego. I don't command as much respect and authority as my alter ego. It's just me. Sorry. It's just me. Sorry. Like, there'd be people who could, like, you know, I came here to watch somebody LARP as a Japanese demigod, listen to 80s techno music, and paint something funny. I feel cheated. Where's my pasty white ginger Japanese demigod? I demand a refund. You didn't pay for anything. Scum. You cannot demand anything. You will demand nothing of me. Only the gods can demand shit of me. Right. As I shake the goo and prepare for a new goo. Oh, are we running? I think we are running low on virus. We are running low on a virus. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've been doing this shit for like a couple of years now, and when I say here and I'm just me, it feels weird. I automatically speak like this. The second I start streamu, I just start thinking in Japu in my mind. What have I done? I've like, it's like, oh, Alex, you've messing with MK Ultra shit that you don't know. Even Maxed Out Bear said it. He was like, you know, I've been MK Ultra when I wasn't singing the intro, and he's just sitting there like, painting goo. Oh, fuck. I did it to myself. It feels weird speaking normally while streaming. I'm gonna have to get used to it. So funny. That's like, how funny is that? That a lot, like, it's not like I started streaming and then I became a character. It was like right from the get-go. Like, the whole thing was like a bit, you know, from my friends on the weekends. Oh man. Oh, excuse me. I must reload. Every time I say the word reload, all I hear is Time Crisis. Just reload. I need a thingy. I need a scoop thingy, but I don't have a scoop thingy, so I'm just gonna use a brush to mix this bitch. Right. Okay, the violet has been reloaded. What tunes do you want today? Will I give Emmanuel what he wants and we'll stick on some Gregorian chants? Well, I suppose it depends, you know, like, congratulations, you brainwashed yourself. I'm not like, I'd be the type of retard to fucking do that. Like, Alex, you do realize that, like, you did this to yourself and like 20 other people. Hundreds of episodes LARPing as a Japanese demigod. What did you think would happen? Huh? What did you think would happen, Alex? LARPing as a Japanese demigod on the internet for like 3 years. Did you think you could just do that and nothing would happen? You're meddling with forces that you know not what they do. Did I have to reload the blue already? Fuck me. Actually, when was the last time I reloaded the blue? I think it was a while ago. Where's my blue? Fuck. Oh shit. Things are going to fall over. The blue is on the bottom. Not exactly the best. Shit. Am I out of like? Am I out of ultramarine? Fuck. Oh, my neck. I can feel like where my spine and my neck have like problems, especially when I like lean out, when I bend down and lean over like that, and then I'm coming back up. I can feel the vertebrae that are like not in the right place. Especially after doing the qigong for a while, and you feel the blood flowing out and everything, and like great for opening the shoulder muscles. Really feel it in the lats and shit, like, or at least the back of the shoulder, anyway. Ultramarine light. It's not ultramarine, but it's close. The rest of them are either green or too dark, or I've loads of Prussian blue, you know, which is a nice blue, but it's very dark. And I think the rest of them are quite. Hold on a minute. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a fuckload of blue, but like, do I have the right blue? Cobalt's nice. I do like cobalt. One of the first symmetricals I sold was cobalt. That's a really nice blue. I'm such a child. Right. I'm just going to use the ultramarine light. And I think that's the only one I have left. So we're going to be using different kinds of blue in a few weeks or days. The shit lasts like longer than the way I used to do it, when I used to just like take straight from the tube and I'd put a bit on the palette and I'd fly through painting. Mixing it with a bit of water and putting it in these little things makes it go so much further. But I do a lot of painting. I do a lot of painting, and I don't do enough painting. I need to paint even more. I need to get a body of work together for a gallery. You need to fucking do that logo and all, like, and some shit only takes a few hours, you know. But then some shit takes days. And if I'm feeling particularly lazy, some shit takes fucking months, like that fucking big symmetrical I did, which is now in a window in a shop in a town, in the town I'm in right now. It's cool having my paintings around and all, like. Hopefully one day it pays off. Been here fucking 5 years, like nobody knows who I am. My fault. These days I'm fairly antisocial, as far as the public is concerned. I just keep to myself, go on my walks, come back. I was about to say work out. I haven't worked out in weeks. I really need to. I can feel it. And I wake up in the morning, my body's starting to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Stagnant fool. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like, you'll think about it. You'll think about doing it. And you know you need to do it. And you just don't fucking do it. Because you're tired. Got other shit to do. That, like, in that moment, at least takes, you know, priority or whatever. I think most people these days are just so fucking, like, stressed out over like everyday life, you know. Shit's expensive. Shit's crazy because people are crazy. Everything you see on the telly and the movies is like some form of fucking like propaganda and fucking. Oh, apparently Conor McGregor pulled out of his presidential run or whatever. I wonder what the reason was. I seen a thumbnail on YouTube and I was like, huh, that was quick. I'd say they have like way too much dirt on him. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like obviously I don't know the guy on a personal level, but like I don't see him doing stuff like that for the country because he's like a great guy. You know what I mean? Like maybe on some level, like maybe on a personal level, he's like, you know, he'd do anything for you and he's like a good dude and blah blah. I don't know. It's just like when you're famous, cheating on your missus, or at least you know, appearing to cheat on your missus. It's like photos and videos and shit. Like that's bad out. You know, can't have a guy like that being president. You know, like. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like the people we've had as presidents are fucking. I mean, what? We've had 2 female presidents, as far as I know. People think America's gone woke. Fucking Ireland's been like I didn't realize how fucking gay and woke Ireland was like when I was growing up. Now I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Catholic Church really fucked us up. You say shit like that, and you're like, oh, here we go. What are you, an atheist? It's like, not even close. It is weird, though, not subscribing to any known religion. You know? Because everybody seemingly just picks a side. And I can see why people just, like, a lot of people just kind of, like, get to a point and they're like, fuck it, I'm Christian. I mean, what else am I going to be? I get that. From what I've seen, anyway. But, I don't know. There's certain, like, there's a lot of in a lot of ways in life I'm just not into groups, you know. I just want to be. Anyway, music. What kind of music? If blood come out of Asu, consult Doctor. Sound advice. I imagine rat tastes slightly Semitic. This tastes Semitic. Insert you're a phony guy from Family Guy. You're a phony. Congratulations. Oh, I already read that one. If you're out of Ultramarine, consult Adeptus Astartes. That's like such a nerd dad joke. I'm out of Ultramarine. The Emperor would be so displeased with you. I'm out of Ultramarine. Heretic! Like... I'm out of Ultramarine. Have you tried Blood Raven? Those are red. It doesn't matter. It's still not heresy. Like... Loyalty to the Emperor doesn't have a color. Heretic. I love shit like that. I love that, like, insane level of, like, dogmatic, you know, fucking psychology. It's fucking so funny to me. I used to, me and a mate of mine, like, my best friend for years, we used to quote Warhammer, because the fucking voice tags for some of the characters in Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, it's a series of games that are like a real-time strategy, point and click, you know, controlling armies against each other, building bases and shit. Really, really good. So when you're playing as the Space Marines, like every time you click on a character, they say something, you know, they have like voice lines and shit, like, you know, and they really got them down like well for the game, for that game franchise anyway. Like, so some of the voice tags are fucking brilliant. There's this guy called the Chaplain who's got like a skull on his, like, on the front of his helmet, just has a skull like welded onto it, like, and he has this giant staff that like has the like their Bible, their version, like you know, the word of the emperor or whatever. Like, but it's like it doubles as a mace, like as a battle mace. And some of the shit that he would say when roaring in the battle and all is so fucking brilliant. Like I can't, I'm blanking now. I can't remember a lot of it, like because there's so many. Like, um, oh, what was a really funny one that we used to repeat all the time? He says something every time you click on him. He says something every time you get him to do something. Like, you know, um, and it just used to make us laugh because it's like the guy, like you could just imagine the guy in the recording studio, like he's just giving it socks, like you know what I mean? Like it's great voice acting, like, and then obviously they like fuck with it digitally, to make it sound like he's wearing a helmet and all, like, which just makes the fucking ones where they're shouting like, or you know, doing a battle cry, it makes it so much funnier, like, um. Oh, fuck's sake, I can't remember any of the Chaplin's lines now. It's been a year since I played. Well, no, I did recently play Dawn of War for a while again, a couple of years ago. On this laptop. Got a lot of mods. It's so funny, like, I've been a gamer since I was like 3. But then it ends up being me missus who's like. She got into like playing a heavily modded version of Sims. Um. And I'd never played a game. I'm not a PC gamer, console gamer, so I've never modded anything. I don't know how to do all that shit, you know. Like, so she like helped me get a modded version of Dawn of War, Soulstorm, the last iteration of Dawn of War, I think it was. Before it became Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War. I think they went up to 3. I can't remember. Um, but it was pretty cool. Buggy as hell in a lot of ways. I'm sure there's like ways you could set it up to be less buggy, but like hilarious the way you could just have like way more units on screen, or like, you know, all these like, man, the modding community, like the people who do mods to games, like there's some crazy ones out there, and there's all different. Like the Sims 4 community is wild, wild, such a big community. Like, I've said this before on stream that like people don't, like, that's something that people don't think about often, and or at least talk about often. And when I think about that, it's like so overwhelming to me how there's so many different worlds just in like society. Everything from, you know, the like fucking Kyokushin karate community. That's like a big thing, you know. And then you have like the UFC, and that's just like fighting. And then you have like the bodybuilding, and all of these are just like physical things. And then you have a whole realm of like fucking Japanese calligraphy, like, you know. And this is just shit that's coming into my head because it's like shit that I'm into, you know. Like there's like whole world of tennis, fucking, I know that's a sport as well. Like collecting model cars, you know. There's like all these different like portals you can enter, and they're like real places and real things with real people and huge communities that you'd never even know about or dip your toe into, but they're there, and some of them have been around like for fucking years. Like, you know, Warhammer's a good example of that. Like, load of people haven't a good clue what Warhammer is, and then there's like a load of people who fucking love it. Like, you know, Star Wars would be different because like most people know what Star Wars is, you know, because it's like so fucking big. Those are the things that like, that's what I think is funny, is like you'd have some guy in a hut in the middle of nowhere who knows what Rambo is. Do you know, some things are that big they've like reached the four corners of the realm respectively, like. And then you have all the other shit where like, you know, the Yakuza fans, fucking not the real gang in real life. There's a video game called Yakuza. There's like 6 of them or some shit, and it's this particular style of like Japanese video game where it's a video game where you go around fighting people, but there's like all these different mini games in it, including karaoke. You know, like, and they just have this particular style, like. And then when you're talking about video games, you look at like the Souls community because of all the Dark Souls stuff. And that's just like one franchise in the whole gaming community, you know. Fucking infinite amount of stuff, like. How could you ever experience what it is to be human now in its totality or in its wholeness? There's just not enough time in a human life to like dip your toe into fucking everything. Like maybe briefly, maybe, you know, if you like dedicated your life to that sole purpose of like experiencing as many things as possible. But even then you'd have such a small time to do it in that like you wouldn't get the fullness of each thing. Be interesting though to try and make yourself aware of as many things as possible, like, because I'd say that you would then connect some interesting dots that would not have been previously there. But anyway, I know I'm just talking shit. Where's the paint? Here. The paint is here. Arma is the best game. You're a fan of Arma? That's hilarious. Of all the games for you to fucking say Arma. That's hilarious. Yeah, I've never played Arma either, but anytime I've seen stuff about it, it looks incredibly realistic in all the right ways, like, you know, in terms of like bullet physics and like how you can just get murked by like one bullet depending on where it hits you and shit. Like, Matt, aren't you supposed to be working? It's called downtime, nosy Nelly. You can tell when he's working because he's not in the chat. He's just got me in his ear and he's like cleaning a bus or some shit. You message Gu more than me. Oh, that's hilarious. You getting jealous? You getting jealous on you? Right. Y'all know the story by now. Well, at least you two. Sonya probably doesn't. I'll play the new PEINTEINGU tunes. Taiko drums. We'll figure out where we're going and then what we're going. Bum. Right. There will come a time. Soon. In the next few moments. Never mind minutes. Where I will tell you to put a number between 0 and 224 in the chat. Do not do it now. It will not count. When I say to do it, do it. Don't do it now. Not now. When I say. I need to make that autistically clear. Because the internet is full of absolute fucking retards. Right. A number between 0 and 224. When I say. Arma is a serious business. The fucking game goes from daylight to dark in real time. Yeah, shit like that's cool. Ugh. Right, get your number ready. Feeble mortal scum. Hold on. Can I position this? Is there a way to do this fucking... There we go. Right. Ugh. I've only been here 28 minutes and my lower back and my ass is starting to just like like it's barely hanging on. I can really feel it in the left side of my neck, my shoulder. There's like there's something that needs to like just pop and the tension needs to release. And I like not even messing, like 15 odd years of numbness in certain areas. Oh, excuse me. I can just feel that it would like all of a sudden release. And I would feel bliss. Right, get your number ready. Do not put it in the chat. Just have it ready. Ugh. PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Right, put it in the chat. Put the number in the chat. Do it now. Do it new. PEINTEINGU. 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 It's PEINTEINGU. Painting goo. Goo goo goo. Oh, I should have made more coffee. 215. 200. Ah, for fuck's sake, it's all the way over there. Excuse me, Micah. 215. 215. Uzbekistan! Nice. Uzbekistan. Right, we're at 215. Uzbekistan would be like here-ish, wouldn't it? Oh, there we go, got it. Dyalyab. D-J-A-L-Y-A-B. Dyalyab. Right. Let us discover what the fuck that means. Bitch. Dyalyab in Uzbekistan means bitch. Right, we're off to Uzbekistan. Did I say Uzbekistan? Uzbekistan? Ugh. I'm being choked. Sometimes it's too far away because of the way I set it up. It's good to stretch the shoulder though. One of the lesser known stands. True. It's usually Afghanistan, Kazakhstan. Uzbekistan is usually one of the, like, top 5. Right. Now we find out what we are going. Now that we know where we are going, we must discover what we are going. And I fucked this up because I put the goo there forgetting that I have to put the hat there. Shit! Right, a moment. Because now I need to move all this very carefully. Otherwise there will be a fucking clusterfuck of goo all over the floor. You see why I say this stream isn't for kids? I curse way too much. It's like, okay. And you tell I grew up in Dublin. Like, this fucking... Right. Okay. That works. Right, magic hat with loads of random shit in it. Shuffle the hat for maximum chaos. Must achieve perfect snatch angle. Giggity. Right. Covered in goo already, haven't painted a single thing. Ah, Stubble Summer! Welcome, nigga curses like a pirate. I mean, if a Japanese demigod can do it, I can do it. Try not to lean. Just quick, just... Oh! Such! Ooh. Bit of collateral damage, but I will adjust. I will adjust. Right, first thing we're painting in Uzbekistan is a suitcase! Trying to tell me something? I might go make a coffee when I finish the intro, or when we know where we're going and what we're doing. Oh, would you look at that? 33. Been seeing that a lot lately, like a lot. Been busy running kiddos to school. I brought earbuds, so you don't have to hear all the cursing and. A wise decision, brother. I have thought about that, like, if I'd made myself, like, you know, what would they call it, like, PG, like kid-friendly entertainment, by just trying not to curse, or, like, say, well, it's not just cursing, though. You wouldn't be able to talk about certain subjects. You wouldn't be able to say any kind of, like, innuendos or implications or anything. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like, be in flow and just be me at all. You know, that is why when anytime, like, YouTube ever asks me, is this for kids? Like, no. Like, but he's painting funny stuff and, like, dressed hilarious. It's just, no. Like, it's not for children. I am a vulgar mess. That's why people like me. But, like, well, that's not why people like me. It's one of the reasons. Second snatch. Snatch! Oh, there was a lot of collateral damage there. I might have a bit of pent-up frustration right now, because Hat is getting it. Feckin' Dubliners just letting loose all the time. Pure flow state. It's probably why, like, Dublin junkies still have a mild amount of charisma to them. Like, it's like growing up in Dublin and then going into town and you'd see it. Have you got a euro? And, like, the state of them, like, they are scum of the earth. Like, they're physically dirty, like, manky dirty. Physically, like, as far as, like, their appearance, their physical, like, the physiognomy, they are repulsive. They're usually missing teeth and shit. Like, they've got scabs in odd places. You know, like, it's like, how did you, what the fuck, like... Sometimes they're, like, the color of their skin is just this, like, weird shade where you're like, is that jaundice? Like, and the way they speak is horrific, like, you know what I mean? Like, even somebody, like, whatever about the lads that sound like they're from Dublin, like, you know what I mean? They grew up in, like, you know, fucking, you know, like, they sound like they're from Dublin, whatever, like, it's way beyond that. It's way beyond that, like, like, it's like, they put so little effort into speaking that only certain amount of, like, air comes out of their vocal cords, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're just saying, like, they're not so much speaking as, like, constantly moaning, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're probably simultaneously, like, typically, generally, the easiest, like, poor people to deal with ever. You get the odd one that'd be like, fuck you, and all, like, get aggressive or something, like. But typically, it's just like, fuck off. And, you know, like, or you just ignore them. I just fucking ignore them. When you're at the bus stop, it's a different story. They ask you for €2. And a smoke. Or if they ask you for money and you're like, sorry, I don't have any money, all I've got is my bus fare. And they're like, have you got a smoke? And then if you say you don't have a smoke either, they're like, fuck you. Like, it's hilarious when you do give them a cigarette or €2. All of a sudden, you're Jesus. You know, like, God bless you. Like, fucking. Anyway, right. Second thing we're doing in Uzbekistan. First thing was suitcase. Second thing is salamander. Excellent. Can't remember the last time I painted a salamander. Salamanders are hilariously cool. Are geckos in the salamander family? There's some sick-ass looking salamanders. Especially the Asian ones. Mad looking. Anyway. Third snatch. What the hell does manky mean? It's just like like disgustingly dirty. Like very dirty. Manky. Like the amount that, like, you know, like, because you guys are Americans or Canadians or whatever, like, you know, you probably wouldn't understand a word of, like, a proper, not even, like, scumbag, but just, like, a proper Dubliner Especially the girls. Something about the something about the young teenage girls like in Dublin City or just in the suburbs or like Clondalkin, you know. We call them howies. Cause that's how they say hello. Alright, how yeah? Alright, love, how you, love? Oh man, the tone. Listen here, you young one. You fucking bleeding manky. Like, comedians in Ireland take the piss out. I've been taking out the piss out of for years. Like, do you know what I mean? Just like from Dublin. Like, it's a unique accent in its own. Like, do you know what I mean? Yet they always manage to find the booze. Oh yeah, man. Like, don't ever give like a homeless Irish person fucking money. Like, the most moral thing it'll get spent on is like coffee and a fucking breakfast bap or something, like, you know what I mean? If it's not that, it's like cocaine, heroin, weed, fucking alcohol. Like, does Ireland have government assisted booze? No, but the fact that I even had to think about that for a second, because I know they've had like we have like, you know, they have the methadone clinic shit and all that stuff where it's like basically a legal version of heroin that is designed to like wean addicts off of it, like. And from what I've heard and seen, you just drink it. It's like it may as well be cough medicine, but it's got like fucking legal heroin in it or whatever to like, you know. It's like a government issued version of nicotine patches or whatever, like, to fucking addicts. It's like, look, we don't want you going around fucking buying off criminals and getting all needled up and shit, and potentially like ODing or whatever like that, and then like perpetuating this cultural shit of like horrific fucking ghettoized areas and stuff like that and all. Like, but we'll give you this. Like, you know? And the way governments deal with stuff is hilarious. But it's because human behavior is like off the chain these days, you know. But anyway, I don't want to. I'll just sit here and ramble for fucking ages. Right. I still have to do a snatch, and the music ended. Rewind. Right, third snatch. Third and final snatch. Snatch! Oh, that was, well, bit of collateral damage, but that was clean. The third and final snatch. Firmament! Oh, shit. Is that how you spell firmament? 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 And an anemone. Okay, kid, don't hurt yourself. Right. The snatching is complete. I would like some coffee. So I'm going to quickly fuck off and get some coffee. Before I find a nice picture of Uzbekistan and begin to paint. I'll be back in like probably just over 5 minutes. I'll stick on tunes. I'm not just going to leave you here in silence when that ends, because that'll end in like 2 minutes. What music do you want to listen to today? I think Demon Hunter Bear already said techno shit or some shit. Am I wrong? I think you... I think Desmondu was like... Get some techno in there. No? Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. I'm just seeing things. It is Techno Tuesday, though. But it's not like those are rules that I made. Like, you know what I mean? It's just more like guidelines. What are we feeling? What do people want while I'm gone? For like 5 minutes. If you don't say anything, I'll just pick something. That always makes me laugh. Classical music that slaps. I don't remember this. Oh, message. Who has sent me a message? What is this? I forgot to put this fucking thing on mute. Tunes, people! Jesus. Am I talking to myself here? Meanwhile, one of you is driving, one of you is at work. The other one's probably trying to paint something. And I'm like, interact with me! Fuck! Like... Fine. I gave you ample... Oh, that's a bit dark. This track is called Coroner. Is this 80s synthy shit? But dark? What's this one called? Industrial synth metal. It's like new metal. Yeah, it's a little bit trashy for me. Don't know about you. I'm not in a trashy mood today. I'm rarely in a trashy mood. Was never big into the whole kind of like grungy, trashy, you know that like hipster music. Like fuck the government, like like those kind of bands that just shout and don't even say. Kind of like bad System of a Down. At least System of a Down had some catchy shit, like Let me see. What am I gonna stick on while I'm gone? An oldie but a good... Well, I suppose Emmanuel likes this one, so at least he'll be happy. Let's dance with some demons. Right, I'll be back in like 5. Need coffee. I don't need coffee. I want coffee. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right. Smack me head off the roof. Right. Pete! Syndrome of a Sawad poser bands. Taiko drums. Feels like forever since I've heard that glorious percussion. Whoa! Oh! Well, I was bound to spill something eventually. At least it was just water. And it didn't get on the floor, so. It's not a crisis. It's not a crisis at all. No biggie. Right. Will you sit there and not move? Yes? The lever on that arm sometimes I'm kind of like... Just stay! Fuck! Ugh. Right. Who's back? Oh shit, the phone's all the way over there. Will it reach? Will it reach? It reached. Okay. Fuck. Where are we? What's this? Uzbekistan. Oh, that's pretty. What do I have to do? Salamander. Oh, that was really cool looking. Salamander suitcase firmament. What the fuck do I paint the firmament? Okay. A lot of temples. A lot of temples. Nice temples. Salamander suitcase firmament. I'm thinking a salamander with like maybe a turban. Do they wear turbans in Uzbekistan? It seems like a turban-y place. Let me see. Not so much turban. More like... What are those things called? More fez. Less turban. Oh no! That's a fucking turban. That's like a fucking sultan's turban. That shit is. Right, okay, so we'll get away with a turban. A salamander with a turban and a suitcase. Walking down this street, perhaps. Because some of these locations are beautiful looking. These temples are epic looking. Jesus. That looks like straight out of Aladdin. I think I'm gonna go with... Is that the first one? That one, maybe. I think we'll go with this one. Do a salamander like he's on... Or maybe we'll do loads of salamanders. I don't know. Or loads of just loads of different animals. But the salamander is the main character. I don't know. And then a firmament. Let me see what my janitorial powers can pull off. You could paint a rocket exploding out. That's the first thing I thought of. That's the first thing I thought of was a rocket like hitting what looks like the edge or whatever. Like, technically the firmament is a dome. Maybe just paint. Yeah, like that's literally the first thing I thought of. Like right there, I was thinking that I could do the blue sky, like, you know, just put a curve on the top of it, like. Anyway. Either way, first thing as usual, a beautiful blue sky. Let me see. Dash of white. A dash of agua. Dash of blue. One of the bristles has come off the bitch. Right, let me see. Let me keep that wet. Shit, my fucking... There we go. That'll do. My tiny mister needs to be refilled. Right. Beautiful blue sky. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting goo 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 goo. That's pretty spot on. Especially with talking to some of the people from the festival, a few people that took interest and all. Like a lot of kids came up because I had the rabbit and gorilla and the dragon. The dragon kind of looks like a big Yu-Gi-Oh card and shit, like, you know. And then I had the Conan thing and all. So there was a few kids coming up and like my stuff's very, you know, brightly colored and shit, like, so it's eye catching. But it is one of those things that got me thinking. I think it's like, I would like it if I was just like, you know, what's the term? Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, more like, because it's not like I can't make a living the way I behave all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like one of the things that people like about me. But it would be nice to like not have to, because that even happened at the festival where like there was two young ones with two, like they had kids with them, and I had to like watch. I was like, sorry, I don't want to curse in front of your kid. And the way she looked at me as if to say, what? Like, I curse in front of your kid all the time or something, like, you know? But it's how I am around people with kids, because I don't have kids myself. Like, I don't know how you know, raise your kid or whatever, like. And don't get me wrong, I was raised like that. Like, people, fucking adults cursed around me all the fucking time. Like, they just told me not to, you know? And that, like, there's a thing to that, you know, like a fucking catching up on Owen's streams and he's talking about that. Like, there totally is a thing to that where, like, if you're a parent and you tell your kid, like, don't do that, and then you do it, that affects the kid. Do you know what I mean? You know? You can't be a hypocrite in front of your kids and expect them to, like, you know, really respect your word, you know? Because there's a lack of congruence in it, like, and even kids will pick up on that. Because it's not exactly like it's something that's, like, really complicated to comprehend, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, if anything, it's very obvious. That's like, okay, well, Daddy told me not to curse, but Daddy curses like a fucking pirate all the time, you know? So, like, it must be okay, you know? That's what I think is so funny about being alive right now, that, like, there's so many people who are literal, like, as far as their age and their biology, it's like they're adults, but like mentally, not so much. Paint. Okay. And the courtyard I'm going to be painting right now. These like two. It's like one temple and then maybe like just like a. I don't know what kind of walls they have. If it's like a memorial wall or some shit. But it doesn't look like there's any entrances into it. Like, there's like a door on the temple on the left, and then on the right it's just wall with like arches in it. Oh, maybe there are doors in it. It's just the perspective. Right, I need... It's kind of grey. It's like a really pale grey. But almost sandy as well. This might be okay as a base though. I want to go a bit lighter. Oh, coffee. I have slip-ups, but my kids call me out on any hypocrisy immediately. Yeah, and that's the way it should be, like, you know. They'll respect you more and love you more if you're real with them and they don't sense any fuckery, like, you know. Okay, so we got one going like this. And then one going like this. One on the right needs to be a bit more flat. Like there. Yeah, that kind of, okay. This angled perspective stuff can be like difficult sometimes. Especially if you're like me and you don't do it a lot. Paintingu Gu. Got a few temples in here. So there's one here. It goes like this. Okay. temple over here. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting goo 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 goo. It's a weird grey. It's kind of like, it's not quite grey. It's like a really pale sand colour. And the white I have is not very pigmented, to be honest. I like my shit to be opaque and highly pigmented. Okay, this is not far off what I'm looking for. Or at least I think it's not far off. Pete, Pete. Pete, Pete. Pete, Pete. Yeah, not far off. Okay, now the buildings are still quite wet. You can see it. You can see the shine. It's still wet. Pete, Pete. So far, so good. We'll make it a bit more 3D looking. Have a few, like, funny looking creatures walking around in turbans and stuff like that, but we'll have one guy in, like... I'm thinking salamander in, like, shirt and tie and fedora and suitcase. With the rest of them being, like, a different kind of lizard. Or maybe birds. Wearing turbans or some shit. What's the national animal of Uzbekistan? National sport. National dish. National animal. Aw, it's a kitten. Turkestan sand cat. Felis Margarita? Are you serious? Margarita. Felis Margarita. Hilarious. What the fuck? The Latin name for the national animal of Uzbekistan. It's like a wild cat, like a Turkestan sand cat. Its Latin name is Felis Margarita. That is fucking hilarious. A salamander sultan would be silly. That would be hilarious actually. We'll just say, yeah, like just the one with the suitcase. We'll dress him like a foreigner, and then the rest of them will just be wearing like turbans and shit or whatever. Cat Margarita. Yeah, I know. Like what the Felis Margarita. I'm not taking the piss. Margarita. Margarita. Felis Margarita, like it's... What are we gonna name this cat after? Cocktail. Oh, it actually doesn't have an official national animal, but that cat is sometimes referred to as the national animal. But officially, they don't have a national animal. The Turkestan sand cat and the Gaur gazelle are considered living symbols of the country. Paid. That is a cute cat. Oh my god, like when they're fully grown they still look... Or are these just kittens? It looks like a house cat that spent like a couple of years in the wild. That's hilarious. Okay. Right, well, we'll wait for this to dry and see what more we can do in the last half hour. Alright, fucking. I'll do the phrase of the day. Stop the music. 2 of Sonia's favorite things. Alcohol and alcohol and pussy. It's such low hanging fruit with the fucking like cat owners and pussy jokes. Like it's hilarious. Anyway, where's the... We'll do today's phrase of the day with the help of my feathery friend Tobias Beakus Crows. As I ding my tiny dong, I send cleansing vibrations through the internet to cleanse you of your filthy, dirty chi and allow it to flow freely. See, I allow it to flow freely. I can't, like, allow it to flow freely. It's like less of a tongue twister if I do it in Japu. Allow it to flow freely. What have I done? Anyway. Today's phrase of the day. Man who is run over by rickshaw, have a wheelie bad day. Oh man. It's such a dad joke. Man who was run over by rickshaw, have a wheelie bad day. Like, it'd be both though. If it was a rickshaw, wouldn't he have footprints on him as well? Like, he'd have like wheel marks on him and he'd have footprints on him. It's like, Jesus, you've been through it. Like, right, this concludes today's phrase of the day. No, that thing is small, but it packs a punch. Right. Trying to get Micah back into position. I'm telling you, it's like... Oh. There we go. Depending on the light, it's like he's only got one good eye. Hey, Micah, you're looking a bit haggard these days. Anyway, right. I'm going to clean up the excess goo using a tissue. Resume tuner's... What I really like about this new little, like, vanity, what would you call it, table thing that I got is, like, it's glass, you know, so it takes longer for the stuff to dry. So just get some tissue, wipe it all up, and you have your mixing surface again. Especially when you have... Will it squirt? Yes? Okay. Especially when you have your tiny mister. Put just enough water on it. And then just wipe it all off. And then you're ready to start mixing again. Because one thing that like a problem I would run into with the other palette is trying to mix colors and, you know, not mix the mixed colors on the palette. You know, you like what would you call it? Taint the colors or whatever. Like, you don't have any room to mix anymore. Like after a while, especially when you use like a lot of it. You know, like doing a background with the blue or something like. And I'm using a relatively big brush for what I'm doing right now, you know. I know it doesn't look like a big brush, but like if anything, this is like for a lot of work on something this big, this is perfect, you know. But in terms of like how big the brush is for my workspace off camera, I end up with like, you know, a section this big on the palette, and I'm mixing and stuff, and then it's like, alright, well, I don't have anywhere to mix right now, so I have to clean it up. Like, and if I was doing that on the wood panel that I was using before, like it had all dried in and become like, you know, layer after layer after layer of dried paint and stuff like that. So wiping up with a tissue wasn't exactly an option because it was all like just it'd still be there. You know, you wouldn't get all of it, and then it would affect because the pigmentation typically in these colors, not the white because it sucks right now. They taint each other very easily, very easily. A blessing and a curse. The highly pigmented goo. Okay. There's times like this where I just want to sit here and have a cigarette and talk shit while it dries. You can still see that it's a bit like it's not wet, and I could paint on it. But I want it to dry out fully before I go in and do another, because there's going to be quite a lot on this. I could just tell. There's like large areas where there's a lot of the same color, so it's going to get very wet. And it will need to dry. Telling you, the bulldog clips, they're the way to go. Keep it nice and tight. And they don't like, because they have such a firm grip on it, like it's not like the fucking, like I could leave this here for days and it'd be fine, but like with the tape, timing is everything. Depending on the workspace. Like I have something taped over there for weeks and it's fine. That Gundam thing, you know. But the way I have it taped, and it's taped to a board and all this shit, like, because I was working on the foam board, and the foam board would buckle and there wouldn't be enough tension, and then there'd be too much tension and it's like fighting itself, you know. It is funny learning all these little things. It really is not as simple. Like in some ways it is as simple as just putting the right color in the right place in the right shape. You know, but that's just like actually doing the painting. But in terms of all the other stuff that you have to do in between, you know, like setup and clean up and mixing and using the right thing for the right job and all this fucking shit, like, it really is just as much of a profession as anything else, you know. Even though it seems, especially these days, because of like contemporary or modern art in quotes, that like artists live a life of luxury and leisure, when it couldn't be further from the truth. If you're actually an artist, like, it's a constant struggle to like, is it going to be good enough for the client? And then that's if it's like a commission or anything, like. But if it's just you selling your art, there's like a whole ego battle of like, do I do what will sell because people want to buy certain shit, or do I do what I want to do knowing that I'm taking a risk because somebody might not buy it, like, you know. So there's this whole like, you know, battle of the ego of like, am I being self-indulgent, or like, am I actually just like being a professional about it and taking the time to do the work, you know. And then you produce something that people like. It's like anything when you're creating content or whatever, like, some people are gonna fucking hate you for like whatever reason, you know. And then some people might get obsessed with you, you know. And in the beginning it might be great because you're like, oh, I have a few clients who like love my stuff and they're giving me all this money all the time and they're really supporting me financially and blah blah blah. And then like they get a bit weird, you know, like they fucking own you or some shit. Like, thankfully I haven't had to like experience that shit yet. I don't know if I ever will. Like, it's the same with like fucking watching somebody like Owen, like, and over the years people are like, I gave you money, and it's like, fuck off, you know. You didn't paint this and I put it in the chat. Ugh. None of you have done that yet, but my chi is cleansed and my mood is improved. You're welcome. Cigarette and sass, how French. I definitely have a bit of French in me, like. Definitely have a bit of French in me. I have a bougie side to me. Where like I like high quality handmade stuff, and wouldn't mind paying a lot of money for it. Like if I could live in a chateau like fucking Vox or something, like, I don't know what the house he looks like or he lives in looks like or whatever, but like I know he bought a chateau or whatever, like a proper like fucking castle thing and all, like, I wouldn't want to live in like a huge mansion But I'd live in like a big house. You know? Especially if you had like a few kids and like dogs and horses and shit, like, and land and stuff like that. I'd live in a fucking big house. And I'd like hire some help, you know? Have a maid, have a cook. You know? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, hiring someone who's really good at cooking to do some really good cooking for your family. Especially if the produce you buy from the shop is like... Or not even the shop, like locally. Like, if you get like really healthy shit, really high quality stuff from like local farmers and shit. You know? This whole idea that like living... having a rich and wealthy life is like a bad thing. You know, this whole like hating on elites and stuff. Like, being an elite's not a bad thing, you know? Like, inherently, it's a good thing because you've achieved such a high level of, like, purpose and discipline. Like, a high level in your craft, whatever it is, or whatever, that you are now, like, an elite of whatever category you're in, you know? It's just when people hear elite, they think, like, oligarchs, that kind of oligarchy, like... These apathetic, mind-blowingly wealthy people who have, like, no care for other people or normal people or the plebs or, like, you know, what would you call them? The proletariat or whatever it's called, like. Art for everyone is art for no one. I gave you money, now love me forever and never call out my bad behavior. I know, like, mad, like... I sent you a super chat. Don't you ever point out that I might be a bit weird online. Like, I love it when Owen's, like, mid-fucking conversation and he just, like, looks at the chat and then turns around and tells, like, Hoodly Daddlebear or Fly on the Wall to just shut the fuck up. Like, one of them will say something and he's like, you can shut your fucking mouth. I always just imagine them sitting beside the fucking laptop or on their phone, just being like, just, oh, oh fuck. I never do. I'm never in this speakeasy saloon, so. I don't know if there's still, like... Does there still be, like, little gamma outbursts now and again? What was going on in the Legends chat there recently that everybody was, like... There was a lot of gayness in the Legends chat. What the fuck was that about? See, like, I'm really, like... I'm not antisocial, but, like, I'm so out of the loop most of the time. They're like, what happened there? What was everybody talking about? I was making dinner and watching Samurai Jack, I'm sorry. Like... A castle in the mountains of Germany would be a cool place to vacation, but I'd like to live in the woods. I don't know if I'd like to live in the woods. I like the idea of living just outside a small town. Kind of like where I live now. I wouldn't want to live, like, off-grid, you know? Because I like people. I like civilization. It's just... You know, these days, a lot of it has just become unbearable for all sorts of reasons. Well, not unbearable. It is bearable, you know. We're bearing it. But, like... It's just become very... It's... just mentally... taxing. It's mentally and emotionally taxing. To a degree that's insanely unnatural. You know? Like, for a large population in history, you know, like, most of the time, like war, or pestilence, or famine, like, depending on the area we're in, was, like, a big event that happened, like, once in a lifetime, you know? The rest of it was just, like, farming, or being a part of a kingdom, or, like, you know, guarding a tower, or being a blacksmith. Like a lot of it was just like nothing changed. It was just like this cycle of producing stuff, using stuff, going out, getting more resources. Like next harvest, like this year's harvest, like worrying about like the stuff that was like immediately important, a necessity or whatever. And then for the average guy that lived to like 30 or 40, he probably would see like maybe 3 battles, like and it would depend on how big your village or town is, like, do you know what I mean? Obviously to be like fiefdoms and shit where the king would show up and be like, you and you come with me, we're going to war, and if you said no, they killed you, or they like took your wife or something. Like, the warring cultures are so disgusting. Like, the ones who, like, their culture is to war, to sustain themselves, are just so scummy and stupid. The cultures that, like, just learn how to, like, permaculture, learn how to self-sustain by, like, growing food and building things and keeping stuff sustainable, like growing trees, like, like, they put back into nature what they take out of nature, They produce more than they consume, so the population flourishes and there's abundance, And then somebody comes and tries to take that and they just defend themselves. They're the guys you want to be, Because, like, I think there can be this notion of, like, well, if all you do is, like, play the Shire, what are you going to do when the orcs show up? It's like, well, if the orcs keep showing up and we keep killing them all and telling them to fuck off, that's the same as, like, going to war all the time, but it's from a moral, like, an honorable and morally superior standpoint, where it's like, I'm only going to fuck you up if you try and fuck me up, Now, I know you could argue, it's like, well, how do you train for war if you don't engage in war, But, like, I would be of the belief that the Tolkien-esque kind of world is, like, true, where it's like there's always a group of humans that are acting like monsters. So there will always be humans that look human, but may as well, on the inside, be monsters. So they have to be slain, because they're going to try and kill you, or they're going to try and take from you what is not theirs. So that's where it's like the whole kind of like keeping your sword sheathed until, like, it's like completely necessary makes more sense, where it's like you just farm, build, and if somebody tries to fuck with you, murder them. But it wouldn't be murder then, would it? It'd be self-defense. Annihilate them, And then over time, if it got to a point that, I don't know. I was about to say if it got to a point, you do the whole, like, Lord of the Rings thing of, like, going to Mordor and taking Mordor out. But, like, you can't kill evil, can you? You know what I mean? It'll always just come back. It's like the Hydra thing. So, like, it'd be, like, a truly, from what I could, like, just thinking now in this moment, like, from, like, would a truly anti-fragile society not be a society that, like, keeps an enemy at arm's length in order to, like, constantly reap the benefits of having to defend themselves, But then you might get to a stage where, like, they goad the dragon, the snake, the adversary into attacking, like, like, what if that's the thing where, like, the whole thing of, like, the only way they get in is if they're let in. Like, what if people in societies like Troy or Rome or whatever like that, like, what if the priest class let the vampires in because they're like, it's gotten too big now, it's gotten too big, and the scale is too large, and, like, we've got all these, like, poor people and crazy people and trannies and stuff walking around. We need to let the vampires in, and just, like, it needs to fall and then grow again. Like, what if that's the perspective they're coming from, where it's like, oh shit, it's after getting, there's too much order here, there's no growth, like, this is like a corrupt mess, so we need to let in the destroyers. Because there's a logic to that where it's like people like the bears, you know, like we're builders. We build shit. We don't destroy anything. And that's great for the most part. But like if there's a time for everything, you know, everything in moderation, including moderation, then there's a time for extreme destruction. Somewhere in the, like, you know, seasonally or like, you know, grand seasonally in an era or an age, there comes a time where like this like huge plume of energy needs to be like expelled because of a build-up over like decades or centuries. It would be really dark and profound to discover that, like, when you get to the Illuminati or the head of it or whatever like that, and you get to the end and they explain it to you and it makes total sense, you know? And you're like, damn, that's dark. And they're like, yeah, we know, but like, that's how it has to be because you can't kill evil. You have to, if the resistance is power, you have to maintain the line against evil. You can't cross the line into evil's territory and go kill evil. Because then that's what makes you like them. Because that's what they do. You know, they transgress, they attack, they offend, they, you know, subvert and usurp and all this stuff. So you just have to like hold against them, and like defending against like if you have to defend against like if you have to go out and protect your flock from a coyote again and again and again and again, you'll start to cop the patterns of like, okay, he shows up at this time, he shows up over there in that tree line. You know, so on and so forth. Now, if you go into his domain and you rue him out and you kill him, but then another one's just going to come along, you know? Now, I know that's more of a metaphor. Realistically, if you owned land and there was like a coyote nearby or whatever like that, you shoot the fucker, no more coyote. And it'd be like a while before another one like roams into range or some shit like that, like. But like spiritually and metaphorically, it's like you can't go in and kill it because it's permanent. It's like part of how shit works. So what you need to do is build a strong anti-fragile system of civilization that is aware of these things and defends against them again and again and again. And every time the wave of evil crashes against the shore of good, the shore like hardens and gets stronger and bigger, and the coral, you know, grows on itself, and like, you know, like from like coral reefs grow from what I've heard, you know, because of the nature of like, it's not just stone or whatever. It's because they think like, oh, the oceans are eroding and all. It's like, yeah, no, shit grows all the time too. Like, sure, like tiny sand particles and stones in water will beat against a coastline and stuff will fall off, but like at the same time you also have places like Iceland and shit like that. We have all these volcanoes that go off every now and again and literally create new land, you know, when like molten lava hits fucking seawater and it hardens and into like, isn't volcanic fucking soil some of the most fertile soil you can get? Is volcanic soil, you know? So, like, aren't volcanoes an incredibly high potential for growth as well as destruction? That makes volcanoes, like, a fascinating thing, doesn't it? That it's like, oh no, volcano, if the volcano goes off, we're all dead. It's like, sure, but you're framing it as this, like, destructive thing where it wipes everything out. But it doesn't, though. Every time a volcano goes off, you give it a while, and there's like a fucking jungle there. You know, like, it's funny. That was the German bee that was invited by Raylan Bear. She was accusing Owen of having a negative aura in how he was dealing with Wilson and Fuentes. Oh, God. I just don't like how he... Shut the fuck up. Oh, that's why women shouldn't speak in, like, public matters and matters of honor and shit like that. Like, there's always some bitch that's like, I don't know, this just feels icky. Shut your mouth. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh. Like, Oh god. He has a negative aura about it. Like, it's literally taking the piss out of a grifting, like, bought and sold nepotistic little shithead on the internet, and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't, like, shut the fuck up. Like, jeez, grow a backbone. Like women like that shouldn't be mothers. They probably do, like, they probably fucking, you know, deal with their child's problems in very, very bad feministic ways. Like, oh, don't do that, that's mean. Like the type of bitch that won't have the fucking backbone to actually teach a kid a lesson. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not up for fucking, like, being, like, tyrannical with your kids or whatever. My dad was a bit of a psychopath, like, do you know what I mean? But it's like, you do need some of it depending on the kid, you know? You know? That fucking, like, oh, I think he has just a negative aura. Why? Because he's, like, telling the truth about assholes on the internet that, like, portray themselves to be a certain way while blatantly behaving in another way, and, like, fucking, and I, like, don't get me wrong, on a level I'm like, well, anyone who consumes that stuff, like, it's their own fault, because free will exists, because free will's a thing. Do you know what I mean? But I also agree with Owen, like, you know, there's a reason. Like, I kind of like the whole Bob Marley thing of, like, that, like, Bob Marley got shot, and I just heard this. I've never looked into if there's, like, a conspiracy theory about it. I haven't a clue. But all I heard is, like, Bob Marley got shot and he got up on stage, like, the next day or 3 days later, and said something along the lines of, like, the evil people in this world never take a day off, so why would I, kind of thing. And, like, that's the kind of energy I vibe with, you know? I know it can get, like, really tedious and tiresome, fucking constantly just, like, holding the fucking torch against the darkness, just being like, oh god, like, but, like, it's probably one of the most noble things, like, a man or woman could dedicate their life to, is in some way, whether it be making funny content or, you know, painting certain things and sending certain messages, or, like, just being a really great electrician or something, like, do you know what I mean? Like, in your own little way. That's what, like, Owen was like with Bertaria. It's like, you don't need land on a farm. You could have a fucking windowsill and some seedlings. Like, do you know what I mean? The point is the effort. The point is the attitude. The point is the point of view. That's the point. You know? The point of it all is to see it from a point of view that removes the ego and sees things objectively as much as you can. You know, I know you can't completely remove, like, I know disassociation is, like, what psychopaths do, but, like, it's also, like, there's a reason why there's a certain level of disassociation required. Well, not disassociation, like, that's what discipline. There's a difference between disassociation and discipline, right? It's like, you have the people who literally chemically, neurologically don't give a fuck. They could watch, they could drown a puppy and feel nothing, like, do you know what I mean? And then you have the other people who, like cops and firefighters and soldiers-esque kind of energy that's, like, even in the face of some of the most fucking stressful, mind-blowingly fucked up situations, you just get through it. You just get through it. And then there comes a time, maybe the next day or, like, even a few hours from the event or whatever like that, where you get to be on your own for 5 minutes and you kind of, like, and you might tear up a bit or some shit, like, but, like you see, like, guys who have been in the shit, you know, and then something wild happens. That's why I like watching the whole, like, you know, body cam stuff for police and shit like that. Like, you see, like, real men deal with real shit, you know, like, horrifying situations, and you can hear them, like, you know, breathing, like, trying to just deal with the situation, like, you know, trying to fucking stop someone from dying or try and getting a kid out of a crazy situation or whatever. And then one of them will be like, you know, he has 5 minutes to himself while everybody's dealing with everything, and he's over by his squad car, and he just leans on the squad car and is like, oh damn. Like, you know, it's like that's being alive, that's being a real guy, is, like, dealing with how fucked up and real life is, and still being a good guy who's, like, a great father, a great friend to people, And like, you don't even need to be a parent. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like the amount of kid. Like I've said this before. Like with the amount of kids that have no parents these days, it's a totally noble thing to do. To like have enough money and adopt a kid or some shit like that. Like, it's, you don't have to. You don't have to procreate to be productive. And good and all this fucking shit. Like, and you see somebody like Nick Fuentes, and he's just this black hole of like this. What a disgusting individual, like. And for some stupid bitch to be like, Owen has really dark energy on him right now. It's just like, oh, that's one of them. To me, that's one of them. Like, being a shit stirring cunt. That's shit stirring cunt energy to me. This holier than thou. Oh well, Owen should be above. This sort of thing and all. Like somebody like Owen should be above doing the right thing, doing what fuck all people on the internet do, saying what's real and calling it, like literally making it light, making it humorous, taking the piss out of people, being like, fuck this grifting asshole, look at him, he's a test tube baby little fucking grifting little shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that young fella calls himself Catholic. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't been hit by a lightning bolt. The disrespect. Like, and I'm not religious at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that little faggot claims to, like, believe in God and Jesus, that is fucking wild. Like, whatever about Andrew Wilson, like, he's bad enough, like, do you know what I mean? But Nick Fuentes takes it to another level, and he's not even 30. He's he himself is still kind of like a kid. Like I look at Nick Fuentes and he feels and looks like fucking 18 to me. Like, do you know what I mean? He looks like he couldn't lift a 10-pound weight, like, do you know, without a bit of struggle or something. Like, it's just, oh god, people like that annoy me. Like, Owen's doing a good job of like being in the culture war and pointing stuff out, making it funny, and you just have these losers who are like, yeah, but just stick to the nice stuff, just play piano and show me pictures of strawberries that your family picked this morning. I don't want to see anything negative. Like, it's like, if you need a filter on your consciousness, on your eyes, on your ears, on all this shit, where like hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, all that, you fucking coward. You fucking, like, I just can't stand grown adult, like, pretenders who don't have the spine to just admit reality and speak about it honestly, and like without this whole fucking like, oh, but that's not nice though. Nice like, it's like like, people are so fucking stupid. So, as per usual, we all dogpiled on her gamma behavior, hence all the gay away to Owen that day. Was it like kind of what I just did, where a lot of them just got on and were like, shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt. Like, we all decided the best way to cleanse the Legends chat was to pay away for a negative for negative auras. Oh man, like, Jesus Christ. Types like Fuentes get their rewards in the end. Yeah, I don't know. George Soros is still alive. But I suppose you could argue that like the reason why fuckers like that make it to like 90 or 100 is because that's their torture. That's their karmic consequence, is living that life. Like, could you imagine waking up in the morning and being George Soros and like getting dressed and like, like you see yourself in the mirror. That's who you are. That's your life. You're a fucking foul-looking troll of a human being. Ugh. Jesus. Imagine. What sane person would be nice to a venom-spewing twat? Stop. That's what I mean, like... If somebody looks at fucking Andrew Wilson or Jim Bob or Nick Fuentes or whatever, and it's like, guys, leave him alone, or squirters, like, stop being mean, like, it's just fucking, oh my god, it's the same with, like, you know those guys who are like two puffs fucking bitching and moaning on the internet. You fucking Neanderthal. Like, we live in a time where the internet affects real life because it is ubiquitous. Your fucking fridge, depending on where you live, is connected to the fucking internet, right? So if you're gonna sit there and not realize that what people say on the, like, you're basically dealing with a load of propaganda agents, and half the time the people don't even realize that they're being brainwashed, or what they're consuming is essentially at its core fucking propaganda. So to turn around to people like, to somebody like Owen and be like, oh, the two of yous, two grown men just bickering on the internet, what faggots. That is just such a low IQ take. And I'm not one to make that argument a lot of time, like, because I don't consider myself to be a particularly intelligent person. You know what I mean? I know there's people way more intelligent than me, like leaps and bounds and like fucking Superman jumping over a building more intelligent over me, like, and like, I know that is just such a fucking stupid thing to say. Look at these men behaving like bitches in the internet. What? You mean attempting to have a congruent, salient, clear, defined, like, this is what this means, and words mean this, and like, this is good and this is bad, like, because of how fucked up and deceptive it is. There's people who genuinely think that Andrew Wilson is like a good guy. Yeah, give it to the sluts. Yeah, you really showed that OnlyFans chick. Yeah, teach her about God's law. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking right-wing justice. Yeah, like, these fucking gobshites that look at that chain-smoking faggot and think, yeah, he's totally right. And, like, don't get me wrong, for months I was watching Jim Bob and The Crucible, and a lot of what they said, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'd agree with that, and that makes sense, because what they're arguing against is like a fucking gimp, like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's the grift they're pulling, is like, compared to the utter monsters that they tend to choose to debate, like Destiny and shit, Andrew Wilson and Jim Bob look like the mature, logical, moral, superior moral choice. Like, it's not even a case of like the lesser of two evils. It's like, oh no, I'm with the chain smoking, beer drinking, trucker hat wearing cook, because he makes more sense compared to the fucking god awful troll cook, but that's not it. It is actually the lesser of two evils. Like, when you look back at the situation, you realize that Andrew Wilson is just this like sack of shit. Like, don't get me wrong. When I saw that clip of like, he wrecked Wes Watson, wrecked him. Not so much. Like, kinda. It was a bit of both. Wes Watson wrecked himself. Made a show of himself, and then for the last year or two has just like done a really good job of destroying his reputation by being an utter retard, right? But like, people see this stuff and they're like, oh, look at this roided out idiot arguing with this totally logical father of three, in quotes or whatever, who believes in God and all these moral things, and and then like the comeback of like, why do I need to lift weights? Why do I need to be a gym bro? I could just shoot you. Like, do you know what I mean? It's legal to own a firearm. If you threaten me, like, physically or whatever, I'll just shoot your ass. Like, funny, but cowardice. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, any real man would be like, do you know what? You've probably got like 30 pounds of me, 30 pounds on me of raw muscle. But give me 6 months and the two of us can get in a boxing ring and I'll punch your teeth down the back of your throat, you stupid fucking bald-headed bitch. Like, that would be the man thing to do. Like, but instead he's like, oh, I've got a gun. I don't need to learn how to fight because I'm a real man and I can just point and shoot things. Like, Andrew Wilson's such a little bitch. Like, and it's the same with Jim Bob. Like, they turn out to be such little bitches. Like, you know, these little, like, it reminds me so much of a guy from my past. Like, fucking Midge. Like, what a name. It wasn't his real name, it was his nickname. But, like, when I caught that fool under the bridge and, like, experienced what it's like to have someone who's, like, such a coward, such a piece of shit, such a lying, manipulative, underhanded little gremlin of a person, right? And you catch them, and there's nothing they can do. Like, you're physically in front of them, looking them dead in the eye, and you're like, "What are you gonna do now?" And you just goes white and starts shaking, and you're just left there sitting. It's like a predator situation. It's like you put your blades away because you're like, "There's no honor in killing this." like that's how I was standing there being like, "I can't beat this guy up. Like, he's pathetic. Like, there's no honor in this contest." Like, oh man. I think it's so funny because, like, when I was younger, I was like, what was I, 12, 14 or something. You know, like, I swung at an older, taller guy. So, like, yeah, I'm fucking, I'm arrogant, cocky, you know, but, like, it shows confidence in like, I was like, yeah, I can take him. Like, I was wrong, you know, like, and it fucked me up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, ego shattered. Great, really good, really good thing to happen to a young boy, is to have your ego, like, you know, put in its place, like, humbled properly, like, you know, and like, that's how you know it. It's like there's a pecking order to shit and all. It's like, be real, be you, like, you know, be where you are on the ladder and don't bullshit about it. Like, real respect's real, you know. Nobody's gonna think less of you if you're sitting beside Mike Tyson and you're like, yeah, I'm sure he'd kill me. Do you know what I mean? You get these types that are like, they can't say, like, yeah, he'd probably beat me in a fight. You know, it's like you're clinging to your ego, like, so hard that it makes you a child. Like, it's like profound when you start to experience this shit where it's like the guy who arguably acts like childish and irreverent, like, all the time, and, you know, doesn't have any kids, and, like, could probably have a better work ethic or whatever, but, like, I'm evidently more sound of mind and, like, authentic and trying to do what I say I'm trying to do than most people. You know, like, it's crazy. There's so many people out there that are like, yeah, be just like me and you'll win at life. And then you look at them for more than 15 minutes and you're like, you're literally selling, like, packages. What is a package? Like, should it be, like, is that some kind of gay innuendo? Like, they're selling packs online, courses for, like, tens of thousands of dollars. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, fucking learn how to be like me, you know, Bugatti. Like, and, like, there's young men that fall for that shit and all. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I want to be, like, tattooed and ripped and fuck bitches. Then what? I don't know. Get another car. Like, it's so fucked. Like, oh, where am I? Looking in the mirror and seeing Emperor Palpatine would suck. Yeah, imagine, like, she got pages and pages of gamma correction. You say that like it's a bad thing. Palpatine was based. He took one for the team, right to the face. I mean, there was that entire thing about Palpatine wiping out his entire family, but other than that, the backstory with his family could be a Disney canon thing for all we know. I don't even know what you're talking about there. Am I out the loop on the Star Wars lore? Especially at this stage. Gotta read the Darth Plagueis books. Great book. Isn't that the guy who allegedly made Anakin? Cause didn't what was Anakin's ma? Anakin's mother's name was Shmi, which is hilarious. And he didn't have a. She basically tells Qui-Gon Jinn that like there was no father. That she carried him, she carried him, gave birth to him. There was no father. So like she's talking about the fact that he was like immaculately conceived, essentially. But the rumor is this, as far as I know. You know, I don't know my Star Wars lore, obviously, but like from what I heard, it was Darth Plagueis, that like used the Force to inseminate Shmi, and that created Anakin. Or maybe it was a different Sith. I don't know. Well, that's what I heard anyway. Or maybe it was Darth Sidious. No, Darth Sidious is Palpatine, isn't he? The Emperor Palpatine, that's Sidious, isn't it? Darth Sidious? I can't remember. The thing that Scouts put in the fucking chat there, just the Nike swish, and it says "nigger." Just say it. Oh man, oh, I fucking love being in this community. It's so funny. Oh god. Right. This looks well and truly Joey. I know there is some buckling and shit, but so much easier with the bulldog clips. But anyway. Yeah, what? Yeah, I'm right. Okay. Oh, fuck. My eyes are all dry. Oh, too much looking at screens. It's all like I can imagine my eyes get quite dry though when I'm like real close. That's symmetrical I'm doing over there. The Gundam looking thing. You know, I'm basically using this, and I'm like up close and shit doing like small stuff and all, and I can feel it after a while. My eyes just get like dry and strained and shit. Oh fuck. But anyway, right. We've set up Uzbekistan. We're gonna return there tomorrow, God willing. I don't think I have anything in the way. Like I'm fucking Plagueis trained Palpatine. Ah, okay. Juju's trying to ring me. Right. I'm gonna answer this. I'll call it a day. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Hang on. Give me a sec. Hey, Juju. Can you just give me can you give me 2 seconds? I'm gonna finish the stream, okay?
Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry. My bad.
No, you're fine. You're I knew that. I knew the second I said I was streaming, she was gonna hang up. Oh, my bad. And she just hung up. Oh, she's gas. Right, I'm gonna go talk to Juju. I'll see you later, right? God bless. Be good, be true, be beautiful, all that jazz. I'll see you tomorrow.